And then a local church planted a church there.
A rude awakening for neighbors in Highland Park on Richmond's north side.
We had a customer that came in this morning and said, somebody set the fire, so, you don't know what to believe.
Around 7 Saturday morning, this building at Newbury Avenue and Meadowbridge Road chewed up by flames.
I was a firefighter for 30 years. So yeah, I mean, what I saw was a very familiar scene.
Butch Johnson runs Northside Outreach thrift store a few doors down. He says the building was sitting empty.
Well, when I saw it, it was mostly concentrated in that tower area where you see most of the char. And of course, the ladder trucks were over it, dumping water in from the outside.
The retired Henrico first responder says the congregation moved out long ago.
I'm always saddened by a church being displaced.
The place looked like it needed to have been demolished years ago.
Nanette Wall lives a few blocks away. She says the neglected building attracted members of the homeless population.
So it makes you wonder whether or not someone actually did set the fire to get rid of the blight.
Richmond fire officials didn't know if anyone was inside the building at the time. Owners tell Richmond fire leaders the church was under renovation. For now, the building appears to be a total loss. Butch Johnson says he would like to see it rebuilt as a grocery store.
Some folks in the community said they saw some people in there working. I have not seen that, but it could be true.
In Richmond, I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News.
Now just very gently, as lightly as you can. Perfect, stop right there, excellent.
Chris Skibby
Beautiful.
always gets fired up at work.
Very nicely done.
The artist balances a burning ballet at 2,000 degrees.
Definitely have to be in the zone at all times.
The professional glassblower transforms rough, raw materials into delicate works of design.
Bright yellow, it's just hot. That's why it looks like that.
On this day, Skibby conducts a searing symphony with a captivated audience.
A lot of people don't get to experience this type of creativity on a daily basis, so I'm happy to supply that for them.
The owner of the Glass Spot shares his know-how with novice glassblowers.
It's quite an honor for me to be able to be in a position where I can help.
These students may come from different backgrounds, but they all share a common thread.
So what branch were you in?
Air Force.
You're the second one.
Each served our nation. This is the first time they are stepping into a steamy studio.
I'm gonna heat this up, I'll be right back. We'll do that one more time.
Art for the Journey's Melba Gibbs is organizing this field trip.
And as we go through it, we try to create a very warm environment, a fun environment. You never make a mistake.
The nonprofit works with Alzheimer's patients, inmates, and veterans, helping them discover a camouflaged creativity.
Art in general is where you sit down and everything that's around you is put behind you, and you have something to focus on.
Military men and women in this class live with PTSD and other hurdles, like Sharetta Jones.
All right.
The Air Force veteran who served in Afghanistan suffered a stroke 6 years ago.
Amazing. Amen. Yes.
That's perfect, excellent job. I'll grab this. You can go ahead and get a straw.
Okay.
Yep, Preston will show you what to do.
Despite physical limitations, Miss Jones is stretching her newfound artistic skills.
Stop right there, beautifully done. Oh, I'll grab this then for you.
Wonderful. Blessings. Thank you.
Through painting, drawing, and glassblowing, Melba Gibbs says veterans heal from within.
I think anything they make with us, they can go back and say, I did this all on my own. This is a creative thing from me.
In this white-hot environment, new artists truly glow with each twist and turn.
You see just the being in the studio lights their face up. It's really rewarding and really is the best part of my job.
Veterans perfecting the right touch.
I love to.
And creating fragile works of art.
And you are good to go.
While molding themselves into unbreakable masterpieces.
Very nicely done.
For I Have a Story.
It's priceless. It is. It is.
I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News.
I I'd just say this is a really amazing camp.
So this is our first girls camp that we have for Henrico Fire.
We've done a lot of stuff.
Oh, it's very exciting. They are rotating through 4 stations right now. They're learning about a little bit of engine work.
And we learned about all the cool equipment they keep in there, which was really fun.
All right, let's open it back up.
They'll get a little bit of hazmat.
Yeah, Bailey, good job. Just fun.
It's just amazing to learn about it, but in a safe environment where I'm not like, oh no, toxic chemicals.
There you go, good job.
I was holding one side with a wrench and I was tightening the other until it sandwiched it together so the leak stopped. I think I got it now though.
Got it?
Yeah. This so far has been the best part.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Pull it. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Smile real big.
And I'm excited to try that too. I like getting wet, as you can tell, and so.
Thought it was a great idea to introduce young ladies to the fire services because it's not very often that we're told that we can be firefighters.
Pull this here to make it tight.
The most meaningful part to me is just them seeing other women be firefighters.
I think it's an amazing thing to learn about and a cool career to pursue.
I didn't even think about being a firefighter until I was 30 years old. So had I seen something like this as a kid, I would have jumped all over it.
I felt like I was really out in the field, but then also if I was stressed out, I could just be like, oh, I'm right here, you know? Even if you don't want to be a firefighter when you grow up, it's amazing to see other women doing this sort of thing and people in general, and it's cool to be like, oh wow, I could do this if I wanted. This is amazing, you know?
I was very surprised that we almost hit 60 girls for a 2-day camp.
2 more times.
It means the world to me to see young ladies excited to come out to do firefighting. It's just exciting to see that hopefully in the next couple years, maybe I'll be working with one of them, or just even to plant the seed in their brain that they could be a firefighter.
It is so fun.
Okay, that's cool.
Taking in the sights.
The water's not the same color as the trees.
Through a viewfinder at Pocahontas State Park.
And easily distinguishable. I didn't notice. Was that yellow on the middle of that kayak?
Evokes reactions.
That's incredible. That's really incredible.
You might not expect.
I'll see this every day, huh?
But these 6 Virginians are seeing nature in a way they never have before, as each one is colorblind.
Gray and pink, or greens and reds and browns. They can all be brown sometimes if they want to.
With their experiences ranging from Jillian Sherman's childhood.
I grew up never quite knowing if the colors I was wearing matched and got teased a lot for it.
To Brian Wagner, trying to read the old Richmond Renegades schedule.
Home games were purple, road games were teal. To me, it was all purple, and I thought they had messed up.
Is it the whole world's a lie? The colors are so different. We're arguing about the kayaks.
And what gave each of them a chance to see the world in many new shades was this viewfinder equipped with special Enchroma lenses. And now there is one installed in every state park in Virginia, the first state system to do so.
In my wildest dreams wouldn't have dreamt this happening.
Park Ranger Ethan Howes was the driving force behind all of this. After seeing them in a Tennessee park, colorblind himself, he found out playing a classic road trip game.
My sister and I would play punch buggy. You say the wrong color, you get punched, right? So I was always getting punched by my sister. And so my dad was like, we're gonna check this out.
Howes says the eyes have 3 cones that pick up colors, and sometimes they bring in too much of one. These photos show what it's like for someone who's colorblind compared to someone who isn't. Howes says the lenses in the viewfinders work as a filter.
Everything's just a bit sharper. Colors are a bit brighter. The hues are a little bit more intense, which is amazing.
Yeah, there we go. The yellow's back.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And as a way of saying thanks for taking part in Friday's unveiling, each of the 6 got their own mobile viewfinder, if you will, allowing them to question what they think they're looking at, including my shirt.
It looks like a blue shirt with blue stripes on it. And then now it's like a...
Yeah, no, that's...
Yeah, that looks way different. Oh, he's got 2 nice outfits on today.
There we go. The Park Service estimates around 341,000 visitors each year are colorblind and will be able to benefit and encourage people to come see the world in a whole new light.
Definitely need to get out more. It's pretty significant, for me at least.
Park officials say people who aren't colorblind are welcome to use the viewfinders as well, but say they're not going to have the same impact as people who are, but you will see your colors pop a little bit more, like my shirt. At Pocahontas State Park, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
My wife gives me hell sometimes just because I work a lot, but I love what I do. Basketball is my life. It's more physical than you think. It's faster than you think. A lot of people don't even think we could do a quarter of what we do out there. I started playing when I was 13, and I was depressed. I had just had a surgery that messed me up, and found sports, and I was just a different kid.
These athletes were in Paris mere months ago, winning gold for the men's team and winning a medal for the women's national team.
Everybody hits! Everybody hits!
I love Richmond. This is my second time being here. We competed last year, and this year it's, always growing.
So that's pretty cool to have like some of the world's best wheelchair basketball athletes playing right behind us on the courts, where people that are playing for their first time in the national tournament are also playing.
So me and my teammate Becca Murray, we're both Paralympians. We play with other male Paralympians.
Yes, ma'am!
I love competing with the boys. There's sometimes a little trash talk sometimes, but that only fires me up.
1, 2, 3, go!
It gets loud, it gets competitive. You really just have to stay focused.
Middle! Middle!
But I guarantee you, if you're a sports fan, you like basketball, and you were to come out here and watch a game, at court level with some of these Division I and beyond athletes, you'd be like, holy.
Even getting a chair, and that'll give you more appreciation for it. Come check it out. Come watch us. It's a lot of fun to watch and to play.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. The first time he watched It's a Wonderful Life, which is the theme of this party, he cried because he felt like he didn't have any friends.
You got another one we can plug it in? Yeah.
When we watched it a couple of weeks ago, he cried because he didn't realize how many friends he had. When people heard the story about George, because he couldn't go and take his kids to look at the lights, that we were going to bring the lights to him.
Is it too early to celebrate Christmas? Absolutely not. This is like just what our community needs right now.
She's not tall enough. Oh, there we go.
I asked them to come help light up this area so that George could see all the lights. Since he couldn't go to the lights, we brought the lights to George.
It warms your heart, and in a time where not a lot of things warm your heart, but it's good to know that, Hanover has people like this that'll come out and help.
Well, to me and George, Christmas is every day. It literally is. And to be honest, we'll be fortunate to have him till Thanksgiving. We will be extremely blessed to have him till Christmas.
Every path of life with us. Remind George that you are walking with him right now. Remind George that you love him no matter what he's going through.
It was pancreatic cancer. I see the eyes. I know the way he's tilting his head, the weeble wobbles, the chewing of the jaw. It's a daily progression, but each day he's changing.
So that'll be my birthday. It's a good number of completion, 70. Just overwhelmed with love and gratitude. Thank all of you.
He's sad that he's leaving me, but he's excited because he's going to see his mom and dad again. But most of all, he's going to get in his father, his maker's arms. Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you. You have your ups and downs, but you hold on to the ups and put the downs away. We're bringing Christmas, Thanksgiving, and even New Year's a little bit early. Wow. This is awesome. Merry Christmas! It has been a wonderful life.
I mean, just imagine the electricity as Lincoln appears right in your midst.
April 4th, 1865.
Just devastation, ruins everywhere.
At the end of the Civil War.
We have several accounts of people saying that he became very emotional at several times.
Historian Mike Gorman describes President Abraham Lincoln walking the streets of the River City.
24 hours before, there had been a Confederate States of America here in Richmond, and now here's Abraham Lincoln. What a day.
But this little-known episode will be overshadowed just days later when darkness falls over the nation.
No president had been assassinated in America before. This is the first.
At Ford's Theater, Lincoln is shot by one of America's most popular stage performers, John Wilkes Booth.
President dies at 7:22. Nation mourns fallen leader. Evil deed creates sea of sorrow across the land.
Wayne Brooks with Caroline County Historical Society says Booth's performance is no act.
He wanted to do something that people would remember, and he did.
The cold-blooded killing sparks a massive manhunt.
It wasn't just we need to find the assassin. We need to find John Wilkes Booth, and here's his picture.
The killer escapes into Maryland.
They put wanted posters out.
The assassin eludes capture. Hours turn into days, days melt into weeks.
He was heading to Richmond and hopefully to be safe.
A bounty to catch Booth grows.
As you can see, it was a $100,000 reward for the murderer of President Abraham Lincoln. It's still at large.
Booth crosses the Potomac and Rappahannock rivers, but the noose is tightening.
Ended right at that house, the Lightfoot house, right on the river.
Bill Guzik with Historic Port Royal says Booth reaches Caroline County. He won't get any farther.
This journey, or his escape, and ended here.
The killer, disguising himself as a Civil War soldier, visits the Peyton House.
Walked these stairs, was in this parlor. It's pretty cool. It's living history.
Eventually, Booth and an accomplice, David Harold, find refuge at the Garrett farm. Their pursuers not far behind.
They arrived about 2:30 in the morning.
On April 26th, the U.S. Cavalry discovers Booth in a barn.
Booth says, I'm not going to surrender.
Soldiers set fire to the barn and shoot the assassin.
Just about the same place that Abraham Lincoln had been shot. He was in bad shape. They finally carried him over to the porch of the Garrett house.
The president's killer will die hours later at sunrise.
So as a child, I read the story and knew about it because people talked about it.
According to family lore, Cookie Davis's relatives lay eyes on Booth's body.
I think they were horrified. They had to be.
At historic Port Royal, a few relics still survive.
This is a hinge to the door where Booth was killed behind. It helps us tell the story today of what happened to Lincoln.
But you won't find the site of Booth's death preserved.
We have this picture. That physical three-dimensional house is gone.
The abandoned home was leveled when the federal government built Fort A.P. Hill at the outset of World War II.
About 150 feet from here stood the Garrett house.
Today, drivers whisk right by a historic marker standing along Route 301.
I think a lot of them don't realize what Assassin's Inn means on that sign.
Well, it's a true story. That's the thing. It's almost like something that's been made up, but it's not.
Cookie Davis says this ugly chapter can't be ignored.
That makes us who we are, I think.
12 days after the president visits Richmond, the story of his killer's demise unfolds just up the road.
They are surprised when we mention, well, I never knew that John Wilkes Booth was killed here in Carolina.
Central Virginia will forever be linked to the death of Abraham Lincoln.
This is part of our story too. It's not just a Washington, D.C. event.
April 1865. That spring, evil came knocking in Caroline.
He had an ego that ended up killing him.
The place where the curtain comes down on the actor turned assassin for good.
John Wilkes Booth died here, but the event is still in our memory, and it's something that we want to preserve.
For I Have a Story.
To know that John Wilkes Booth came to Port Royal and this is where he met his end, it's a big deal.
I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News. When plying the waters of Virginia, outdoor enthusiasts can choose many modes of transportation.
Rear anchors up, front sweeps in.
But one group of boaters is stepping out of the 21st century.
It's going to be a beautiful day today.
And climbing into a craft straight out of yesteryear.
Nice push off. We're going to stay close to the land. It's a huge, long wooden boat, as heavy as all get out.
The Lady's Slipper.
Nice.
A bateau measuring 42 feet.
Can you help me down with the sweep?
That whisks those on board to another era. Flat-bottom vessels like these ruled America's founding river for 2 centuries.
There's no other easy way to get it here than use the beautiful James River.
Laborers and the enslaved hauling tobacco and cargo.
Those people we are indebted to.
Up and down the James.
So we need to carry on their tradition.
Get her down the river, pole, 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 pole. Let's get that tobacco to Richmond.
This reenactment, reviving an ancient way of travel.
Poles on the right. And you'll see that one person can't do it. You need everybody together, working together.
Co-captain Wendy Wadsworth
So if we get much more headwind, Joy, maybe we'll take the canopy down?
says their boat is void of any modern conveniences, like an engine.
How do you get down the river? You pole this boat with long poles. You know, no motors, no nothing. No motor. This is here. These are the motors.
The Lady's Slipper runs on tenacity and teamwork.
Yes, and heart and soul. Sometimes your muscles can't do what your heart can, and we can move that boat with just 5 to 7 of us. Rock on the right.
Co-captain and first-grade teacher Joy Daniel takes pride in keeping a chapter of Virginia's heritage afloat.
If we stop doing this, it may go away. I want our children to realize where we came from, to be where we are today, and appreciate that.
You'll be hard-pressed to find another crew like this anywhere.
River right. Okay, river right. Somebody told me it was a heaven and hell because it's hard work. It's not a vacation.
When the Lady Slippers were formed around 1990, the all-female crew was charting an unfamiliar course from stem to stern.
You get bumps, bruises, scrapes, but we take care of each other.
Back then, the bateau was reserved for the boys.
What used to take us a day and a half only takes 20 minutes now.
But the Lady Slippers muscled their way into the annual 8-day James River Bateau Festival.
We can do it. Girl power, we can do anything.
Turning heads along the 120-mile stretch from Lynchburg to their home port of Powhatan.
It's such a different thing.
Proving these boaters belong.
So when we're on the water, people, the rafters and the kayakers go, whoa, look at that. What is that?
River right, Wendy.
Crew members range in age from their 30s to well into their 80s.
All right, nice.
But the beloved bateau keeps her crew splashing in the fountain of youth.
The men in the festival used to have to help us a lot. We hoped and prayed that we were never a hindrance to anyone, but now we are doing it. We're doing it on our own. So it feels good, very empowering.
Coming for to carry me home.
A few years ago, the Lady Slippers went co-ed.
Got a little ribbing about being a lady slipper, but I preferred a laddie slipper.
Tom Hassenfang says no one is more determined than his fellow crewmates.
Every one of these women just work their tail off, to get us down the river. They do whatever it takes, and they do it with a smile on their face, so it's just, what more could you ask for?
Navigating the Lady Slipper can punish the body, but leaving contemporary life behind can soothe the soul.
It is hard work, but it's calming to me. I do it because I love it, and it's rewarding.
There's no radios, there's no cars, there's no commercials. It's just you and the river and the quiet. It really brings you back to the way it was years ago.
Next June will mark 40 years of the James River Bateau Festival.
This festival is the only one like it in America. There's no other festival like this.
These boaters expect to pull their way to the finish line once again.
All right, nice job.
There's something great about the history of Virginia, and this is the way we honor it.
Along the way, the Lady Slippers will break barriers and make waves.
We are family.
All while casting off any doubters and leave them in their wake.
As I said, it's a true part of my soul.
For I Have a Story.
I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can do it.
I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News.
I've got knives, I've got torches, I've got fire whips, I've got chainsaws.
Paolo Garbanzo.
There's written record of jugglers juggling these things for over 1,000 years.
never misses an opportunity to hone his skills.
This is the basic routine, but you know, you always got to throw in some tricks.
When your profession goes hand in hand with danger,
And you always got to keep them sharp.
practice
Because these are knives.
makes perfect.
My mom couldn't find the kitchen knives because I had taken them all.
His front yard on Richmond's south side serves as his stage.
That's going to be 40 years. 40 years of juggling. It's a great activity. Yeah.
Non siamo i peggiori. We're not the worst.
Where he performs mostly for an audience of one.
A lifetime of earnest effort into everything that he does, honestly.
Wife Onsa remains his biggest fan.
I am so grateful that after 30 years of watching my husband perform, I still think he's hilarious.
I have been juggling since I was 12 years old.
Paulo was bitten by the juggling bug early on.
I think from the time I was getting out of high school, I was like, how do I get to the point where I can be a completely professional entertainer?
In college, he and some classmates formed the comedy troupe The Garbanzo Brothers.
It just takes hours and hours of practice. Some people get it in a couple of months. Some people get it in a few years. Depends on how many hours you're willing to put in.
The VCU grad channels his inner vaudeville.
Welcome to the Paulo Garbanzo. Whirling Blades of Death.
The father of two appears at Renaissance fairs from coast to coast.
Oh yeah, but hang on tight, people, because here comes the fancy part.
Maryland's Ren Fair near Annapolis each autumn. One of his favorites. The entertainer is also earning a reputation across the pond.
Lo spettacolo iniziamo adesso.
Paulo juggles his way across Italy, Germany, and the Czech Republic. But it is in merry old England where Paulo is truly making his mark. In 2007, the juggler competes in a contest that changes his life.
There is always going to be a leap of faith.
Muncaster Castle, home of the infamous Thomas Skelton, a.k.a. Tom Fool from Shakespeare's King Lear, was searching for an official modern-day jester.
I was very nervous. That was the first time I'd been in England.
Paulo teases his way to the top while beating his opponents on their home turf.
Apparently they liked it, and so I was like, all right, I'm going to go with this material. And it worked, so.
It is a feat something no American has ever done before or since.
Paulo Garbanzo.
18 years later, he still holds and cherishes this rare title.
3 pounds a knife, 7,000 reps.
The performer refuses to let his worldwide success swell his ego.
For me, I think it's the coolest thing I could ever do.
It is clear this jester's hands-on craft is no joke.
If I'm working on a new routine, I will be out there as often as I can.
But when you juggle for a living, Paulo Garbanzo says you can never take yourself too seriously.
Oh yes, it's my business, and it's my work, and it's my passion, and my joy. Even if I do that.
For I Have a Story, I'm Greg McQuaid.
I will be performing until they, it's a good shot, make me stop.
CBS 6 News.
On a quiet West End street, in an otherwise unassuming suburban home, lives a bevy of combat and controlled mayhem. This is the Richmond Boxing Club.
Arden, you're reacting to everything. You're not being first.
Under the guidance of Ian Patterson.
Keep him there. Keep him there. At the middle.
All 361 square feet of his garage is used to train tomorrow's champions. Or at the very least, get them away from technology for a few hours a week.
We're prying them off of those screens and those cell phones. and we're putting them into something productive.
Patterson started boxing over 20 years ago and was a Virginia Golden Gloves champion.
Number 2.
What he got out of his experience
Why didn't you finish it off?
is what he's hoping to pass on to the next generation.
This stuff gives you a avenue to be real confident in yourself. And it doesn't really matter what age it is, really. The younger you can get them, the better. Sometimes when you get them when they're a late teenager, there's some bad habits there. But you can still build them up and build them character. And I got out a supreme level of confidence in who I am as a person.
This small space has already produced some big talent. Some have gone on to a pro career, and some are on their way.
Fast feet, fast hands.
11-year-old Isaiah Rodriguez has been coming to Patterson's garage gym for 2 years, and he's already racked up 3 national titles. Isaiah has natural ability, but he also has a drive to succeed, which wasn't always the case before boxing.
I would like move around a lot, and then sometimes I'll mess with people, and I'll just do all kinds of stuff, and they didn't like it. So once I started coming in here, and the discipline, the hard work that we do, it definitely calmed me down for sure. And now I'm a whole completely different person.
He's dedicated. Yeah, he's dedicated. He likes to learn, and that's what you want in a coach. You want a kid that really wants to learn, and he does everything I say. I don't know about outside the ring, but when he's here, I keep an eye on him.
I lost a lot of weight for sure. I looked fat and chubby when I first came in, and now skinny. And I had long hair as well, but I cut it.
Move around the ring.
Patterson currently has about a dozen kids who come regularly to his cramped space and less than regulation ring. Patterson's commute is convenient.
All right, what are you waiting for?
But there's a bigger reason for his smaller scale.
We don't charge his kids a dime. And so if I was to go out and find gym space, I'd have to focus on bringing clients in, making money. And that takes away from the kids. And if I'm focused on that, we're not building champions like we're building right now, taking these kids off. Some of these kids can't pay. They don't have the ability to, their parents don't. And we bring them in and give them an environment where sometimes they're going home and going right to sleep, and they're not in doing silly stuff out there.
Isaiah is living proof.
In school, I was always getting in trouble in school for playing with my hands. And then once I got in here, after that, I never got in trouble at school again. So,
it's better.
I mean, now I'm in love with it.
Prince George County, situated just south of the James, and known for embracing its rural character. It prides itself on being a welcoming community.
That's where it started. That's where I met him. I lost my soul. That bastard stole my soul. That's what I lost.
But lifelong resident Donald Newbold says he and other local men have been keeping an unwelcome secret that casts a shadow over this quaint county for decades. And to break free of it,
there's a lot of emotions right now because I haven't been here in 30 years.
He returns to where he says it all began.
The memories are just flying through because that's when I was the happiest.
In a more peaceful place where he grew up with his parents and 3 sisters. The year was 1982. Donald was 12 years old.
So he would come over here and pick me up.
He was the guidance counselor at N.B. Clements Junior High School, William Barnes.
He told my mother if I ever wanted to have a side job or anything, wanted to make some money, he had a place that he needed help with.
Blocks from the Newbold home, Donald would become a handyman of sorts for Barnes. And when it came time for his poverty-stricken parents to move, his then counselor made him an offer to take custody of him. And his parents eventually agreed to let Barnes adopt him.
So a young kid wishing he had a pair of shoes to having more than what he knows what to do with, well, where would you want to stay?
At what point did you think this is not what I thought it was supposed to be?
Probably the second time he provided me with alcohol, and I didn't know how to drink it, and I overdrank it, and I woke up and he was spooning and masturbating me.
According to these 6 affidavits exclusively obtained by CBS 6 and now in the custody of the Virginia State Police, Donald is not the only one making these allegations. At least 3 men are accusing Barnes of inappropriately touching them as kids, and others are backing the claims, as well as allegations that Barnes allowed minors to use drugs and alcohol inside his home.
Car's gonna be all right, man.
Yep, let's hope so.
With our cameras rolling, Donald tearfully embraces one of Barnes's other accusers for the first time.
It makes me damn glad that I'm speaking up for him.
Barnes was Brian Carr's basketball coach at Claremont Academy in the 1970s. Carr says Barnes would often invite teammates to sleep at his Prince George County home.
Someone crawled up in the sleeping bag, kind of, and was kind of spooning me from the behind. And then I could feel those whiskers on my shoulders and neck. And he started fondling me, but I won't have no parts of that.
Allegations that are included in Carr's sworn affidavit and that he says he reported in an interview with the Virginia State Police.
A lot of deja vu. Listening to their relationship was like a flashback trigger to my relationship.
Donald would write,
"This is my journal.
About the years of alleged abuse.
And here are some very graphic nights and some very graphic events that have lived with me for a very long time."
He says he endured by his adopted father, who was an educator in Prince George County for more than 4 decades.
Some very horrible stories of how he would hold me down. First time he did it, I was 14 and a half. First time he actually sodomized me, I was 15.
Donald said the abuse continued through high school.
You'd ride to school with him in the morning, and he would give you a big old rack of cash. Here, you want some spending money? Don't tell nobody what happened last night. I'm really sorry. If I came up there, I need to stop drinking. And I hope I didn't do anything wrong. It got to the point where if I would just let it happen, it would go away faster. If you fought him, it was just going to take longer.
Barnes got promoted to Prince George Director of Secondary Education in 2014. The same year, according to this affidavit, another man reported him for touching his genitals at a sleepover when he was 14 years old. Eventually, Donald says his friends stopped coming to the home he shared with Barnes, but claims the abuse he suffered wouldn't end until age 17.
Why did you hold it in for so many years?
Scared. Fearful of retaliation was going to be one.
Something he says he's experiencing now after sharing his secret last summer with his wife and 2 children.
When I told her who it was, she said, "You're a liar, he'd never do that." And then she left me to go live with him. So I hope they understand one day that I saved my life. I saved their life. And that I'm sorry it had to go down like this, but hopefully one day they'll understand.
Donald tells CBS 6 his estranged wife has a protective order against him, and he hasn't had contact with his children in almost a year. Barnes, meanwhile, retired from his award-winning career last year as the assistant superintendent of schools.
Why speak out?
It's like a 800,000-pound weight off my chest. I tell everybody I have a broken heart that's warm. Because the Lord has me, but the good out of it is if I didn't tell somebody I was going to die.
We reached out to Barnes's attorney and have not yet heard back. We also reached out to the Prince George County school system. They provided us with a statement that reads, quote, "It is not our practice to comment on matters related to personnel or active law enforcement investigations, but we can share that the school board and administration take allegations of this nature very seriously and will cooperate fully with any law enforcement investigation if requested to do so." Much more on our investigation and our attempt to obtain records from the district on our website at WTVR.com. In the studio, Laura French, CBS 6 News.